Hey everybody, and welcome to tonight's webinar. I'm just waiting for Craig to get his laptop organised. He's having a bit of a tech issue. So just so I know that everyone can hear me, can you just type in the chat box and let me know, Kitty? I can hear and I can see you perfectly fine. So it's always good to test it before we begin. So just type in the chat box. And so type here, hey everyone, hey Renee, I can hear and see. Okay, perfect. Now ladies, Craig and I are just a little bit somber tonight because one of the beautiful ladies in our program, her son actually committed suicide a couple of days ago. So everyone in the program is hearts are breaking for her. So we're not our usual really super outgoing selves tonight. So just bear with us. But the beautiful thing about our community is everyone's gotten behind her and donated money and tried to help her as much as we actually can. So yeah, we're just not quite as peppy as I usually would be. And now a word of warning. So I do swear, but if you've been following me for a while, you probably already know that and you are probably used to it already. But if you don't like swearing, you should probably get off now because I will definitely offend you. So Craig's still sorting out his laptop, but we will start anyway because I do most of the talking. So tonight I'm really excited to share with you the 3 secrets that basically changed my life and freed me from restrictive diets and cardio, and basically helped me build the strong and athletic body that I have now. So, if you're anything like I was, and if you're here, you've probably done a lot of the diets out there. So, like there's the Kayla Itsteins, there's Michelle Bridges, keto, fasting, shake diets, isogenics. I did that for a year. And these diets work initially and you do lose weight, but you can never, ever sustain them. So, you end up rebounding, you put all the weight back on, you get stuck in these cycles of restrict, then binge, and you never actually get to where you want to be and you feel awful and you feel trapped by food. So these are just some photos of women in our program and they still look like this. So not only have they achieved the toned and athletic body that they were working so desperately, hey Jenny, for, but they also feel better. Because it's you want to get a result and you want to actually sustain it because, like how many programs have you done where you do it for 12 weeks, you starve yourself, you think, oh God, I just want to get to the end of this. I just want to get to the end. And then you end up binging and putting all the weight back on. So yeah, it's crazy. And the fitness industry is just full of these quick fix diets. And I'm telling you now that you can build the body that you love and you can feel amazing and you don't have to starve yourself. Like the women in our program, no one eats under 1,800 calories. The majority of the women in our program are eating 1,800, 2,000 calories and losing centimeters, losing body fat. Like these are just some screenshots from women in our program. You can see, down 7 kilos, down 6 kilos, down 37 centimeters. And this is all eating really good food and not, starving themselves and killing themselves with cardio. The other thing too, which really annoys me, is that the fitness industry just focuses on the outside. And, obviously we all want to look better, but at what cost? So, when you do these crazy diets, if you're anything like I was, I had a really irregular here's Craig. Hey, Craig. He nearly threw his fucking computer, by the way. He was losing it in the background.
Yes. I was. It's something with technology and things that work, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work. I can't handle it. I'm like, there's no reason. Anyway, I'm good. I'm here. Hello, everyone.
Well, you can mute yourself now because this is my time, and then you can talk.
Yeah. Oh, am I cutting you off? Yeah, continue.
So you know, these programs, they only focus on the outside. They don't focus on the inside at all. So, you know, you end up with hormonal imbalances and digestive issues and food intolerances, and you can't sleep through the night, and you're fucking constipated. Like, who here only shits twice a week? That's normal. Like, you should take a shit every single day. And these are just some screenshots from women in our program. You can see their periods have become regular and pain-free. No more migraines, no more digestive issues. They feel free and spontaneous with food. You know, food no longer rules their life. So it's sort of like everything that the fitness industry told you is wrong. Like, they tell you to cut out all these foods and restrict your calories, but that ends up actually causing you more issues down the track and makes you fatter. And we'll go into more detail as we go along. So these are just some more screenshots from women in our program. You can see this lady, Melinda. Now, she's 50 and she looks like she's 9 months pregnant. Now, that was just bloating from food. So you can see in just 10 weeks from the food changes, the improvements that we were able to make with her. You know, Melissa actually works with us as a coach. Like, all of the coaches in our program have been our clients. It's changed their lives so much that they now want to share it with other women. And you'll see why I'm so passionate about this as we go along. These are just some more women, both these ladies eating over 2,000 calories a day, losing body fat. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Kitty. This is Craig. We're the co-founders of NuStrength, and it is my mission to free other women like me and free them from restrictive diets and binge eating, and help them actually build a body that they love. You know, because I think it's just when you finally move away from that restrictive eating and you can get strong, you don't have to kill yourself anymore. I think you're just so much more accepting of your body. And I used to always just want to be skinny. Like, I would look at those tiny little fitness models. You know, like, it was so funny. I put together a photo of myself and Kayla Itsteins, and I'm pretty jacked now. Like, I'm pretty strong. And I love being muscular. I love being strong. Like, I don't want to be skinny anymore. And it's just so freeing and so empowering, and it really does flow over into the other areas of your life. And just a really quick backstory about myself, because you're probably thinking, well, you're in pretty good shape, Kitty. You've never really walked in my shoes. So I'm a bit of an oversharer, as probably most of you already know, because you've seen the fucking easy food prep videos. Nothing is sacred with Kitty, but because I think, you know, like, and every woman's different, but a lot of their issues maybe stem from, you know, self-esteem. When I was younger, when I was 17, I was like totally in love with this guy, and he basically took my virginity and then fucked me off, which really wasn't any big deal. But after that day forth, I was pretty much like, oh, men need to have sex with me to love me. So I went on these like crazy rampages. I just thought sex was just for fun. I was ridiculous, like stupidly promiscuous. And then I was completely obsessed with how I looked. So I just wanted to be lean. I wanted to be skinny. I would exercise like crazy. I did every single diet, shake diets, fasting. I remember eating tuna and apples once for like 16 weeks straight, which is just ridiculous. Then I got married and I decided to do a couple of fitness comps, because I looked at those women and I thought, oh, they're so beautiful, you know, like, they look so happy. They're on stage, they're so lean. And it was just another way for me to restrict myself. So I did it twice, and that just exacerbated my binge eating to the point where I actually started to take laxatives, and like, I would restrict, then binge, then purge. And I got divorced, and I was seeing this therapist, and we would always talk about nutrition, because she's like, oh, you know, you're so interested in nutrition, Kitty. You talk about it all the time. So I think I was just looking for that perfect diet, and I tried them all. And she said, you know, have you ever read any of Emma Skourouskas' or Ray Peat's work? Because she said, you know, women who have thyroid issues shouldn't eat green vegetables. I was like, what do you mean? Like, shouldn't every woman eat green vegetables? And she said to me, go away, read these two articles. So the one that was really, and you should definitely read this article if you haven't read it, by Emma, Defending Fruit and Non-Complex Carbs. So I did her program, Popping the Food Bubble, for 12 weeks. It completely changed my life. At the same time, I met Craig, and he taught me how to train. Then we opened NuStrength. I then went and worked with the lady that wrote the program, Dodie Anderson, for 12 months, and just learned and absorbed more and more. And, you know, it changed I remember like doing it and just thinking, women need this, like the fitness industry need this, because everything that I'd ever known, it basically challenged every belief that I'd ever had about nutrition, because I was so anti-sugar. I was so anti-dairy. I was, you know, all about cardio. But I guess instinctively I knew that something was wrong because I just kept going around in this fucking cycle of like ridiculous binge eating, and I would restrict, and I was obsessed with food, and I had to eat less and less and less to keep getting results, and I was tied to the scales. So when I found this, I was just like a rat up a drain pipe. And you can even ask Craig. I was just like, I remember when I was getting you onto this, I was like, oh, you got it. Because Craig was doing like the typical bodybuilder diet when I met him. And he basically taught me how to lift. And, you know, I fell in love with him, and I fell in love with lifting. And then I helped him with his diet. So, and from there, NuStrength was born. And then the WOW method was born, which is the method that we use now to help, you know, basically help women do what I did and take control back of their health and their body, you know, and their life and their happiness. So I've been where you've been, most of you, and I've walked in your shoes. And I can tell you now that you can definitely beat this and come out the other side. It is possible. I know it doesn't seem like it now, because when you're stuck in that cycle, you're just like, oh God, I can't even fathom eating more sugar and more carbs. But, you know, stick with me and take lots of notes. So if you've tried keto, low carb, Michelle Bridges, F45, all those fucking diets, and you've failed, it's actually not your fault, because they're all just forms of calorie restriction, all, you know, packaged up and wrapped as different names. And they basically set you up for failure and set you up to binge eat and just cause you long-term health issues, which we'll talk about soon. And I'm going to show you basically the 3 pillars that we use with women to help them finally break free of these restrictive diets. And we're going to show you how you can actually eat all the foods that you love. You know, like I eat ice cream every fucking day. I just had a big glass of orange juice before. I had homemade chocolate brownies, flourless chocolate brownies for afternoon tea with a glass of milk, pate on toast for breakfast. And I actually look forward to every single one of my meals, and I don't binge it anymore. Like it's like totally a thing of the past. So, you know, I'm going to show you how you can build lean muscle and lose body fat at the same time, because you can do it. I'm going to show you how you can not only get into better shape, but improve your sleep, digestion, mood, energy, and menstrual cycle, all while actually eating more sugar and food you actually enjoy and training just 3 days a week. That's right, ladies. I train 3 days a week. Now, I want you to stay right to the end, because I don't want you to miss anything. So for those of you who stay to the end, we're going to give you a copy of one of the Total Rep programs, which is actually one of my favorite programs. You know, Craig reckons that I'm lying, but it's a fucking awesome program. And, you know, we use it very early on in our Win at Life program. Well, Craig wrote it, obviously, because he's the master of all things bloody training. But we will email that to you if you stay on right to the end. So that you get the most out of this, switch off your phones, Facebook, Instagram, because if you're anything like me, you'll get bloody distracted. Take notes and participate and ask questions, because Craig, while I'm, as he says, crapping on, he's very fucking rude, will answer questions in the chat box. So you'll be able to ask and get answered as we go along. And then obviously at the end, if there's any other questions that you've got, we can answer them at the end. So pillar number 1, and if you take away only one thing from this training tonight, it's that you have to stop doing quick fix and fad diets. So, because no matter which one you do, they are all forms of calorie restriction, all just wrapped up in different packages. And the fitness industry wants you to keep dieting, because if they actually showed you how to get sustainable results and build a body that you loved, and if they actually taught you and gave you the knowledge around nutrition to eat for the rest of your life, they wouldn't make any fucking money. Like, the fitness and health industry is worth $6.6 billion. So if they just didn't keep you coming back on 12-week challenge after 12-week challenge, how would they make their money? Like, think about it. Think about the number of diets that I've done, shake diets, challenges, you know, it's insane. It's like the yo-yo diet queen. I was the yo-yo diet queen. And women spend an average of 17 years of their life dieting, and they lose their body weight over 9 times, which is just absolutely insane. Now, everyone knows Oprah. So I was at getting my hair cut a few months ago. My hairdresser, Karen Sheck, she trains in our gym in Brisbane. We've moved to the Gold Coast now because we have an online program. Obviously, we can do that from anywhere. But Oprah, I was reading this magazine, and Oprah, there was an article there saying, I'm the fattest I've ever been. Someone help me. So I did a bit of research. I thought, for as long as I can remember, Oprah's been dieting. And like, I can't even remember the amount of time she's lost weight and put it all back on and lost weight and put it back on. So I want you to guess, type in the chat box, how many times do you think Oprah has, or how many years do you think she's been dieting for? Have a guess. I want you to type in the chat box and guess for me how many years Oprah's been dieting. Oh, way more than 7, Rebecca, way more. Keep going. It's ridiculous. Like, it'll blow your mind. 48, close, Kerry, 40 years. She started her first diet in 1977. So that was before I was even born. She's done Weight Watchers, shake diets, vegan, high protein. She trained for marathons for a long period of time. So, you know, I mean, it's probably more than 10 times she's lost all of this weight and looked fabulous, and then she's put it all back on. So she's one of the most successful women in the entire world. And so if she can't get into good shape and sustain it doing all these ridiculous diets, then you have no chance. So like I said before, all of these quick fix diets are just extreme calorie restriction wrapped up in different names. So I'm going to explain to you why these diets continually fail you and set you up for binge eating time and time again. So let's imagine that your body is a car and you're going to drive your car all the way over to the other side of Australia, but you're only going to put half a tank of fuel in. What's actually going to happen to your car? I want you to type in the chat box. What's going to happen to your car? Are you going to make it? Are you going to make it over to the other side of Australia? No, of course you're not. So when you go and do these crazy diets and you cut your calories and you increase your output, so you increase your energy expenditure, but you eat less food. So basically what you're doing is you're just not putting enough fuel in your car, but your body, you don't just keel over and die and suddenly stop. Somehow your body manages to keep going. So when this happens, your body considers it an emergency. It's like, crap, I've run out of fuel. So it has built-in mechanisms to keep you alive. So it releases 2 hormones, adrenaline and cortisol. So adrenaline's function is to go and find stored glycogen in the liver and muscles, but obviously that only lasts so long, so it'll use that up. Then it goes and tries to find stored fat for fuel, and it burns fat. And everyone says, yeah, but Kitty, isn't that good? We want to burn fat for fuel. Not under the direction of adrenaline, because it uses 3 times as much oxygen. It creates less energy, so it's extremely inefficient, and it creates less CO2. So CO2 is actually a really, really good thing. It helps to remove calcium and sodium from your cell, and it keeps your cells nice and stable and happy. So when we talk about metabolism is just the rate at which your billions and billions of cells make energy. So your cells, if they're functioning efficiently and not on stress hormones, your metabolism is going to be high. But when they are forced to convert energy using stress hormones, they become stressed, and they break down and they become inflamed. The other thing that's released is cortisol. So cortisol releases amino acids from the skin, thymus, and muscles, and it takes it back to the liver to be converted to glucose. So basically you're creating an environment of stress in your body, which breaks your body down. So you're destroying the body you have. What else happens is that your body is smart. So it goes, okay, I know what you're trying to do here. So for self-preservation, I'm going to slow everything down. Digestive juices, temperature, pulse. So anyone who's done a lot of dieting, take your temperature and pulse. You'll probably find that your temperature is low 36s, or even sometimes under 36, and your pulse is really low. So that's not a good sign. That's a sign that your metabolism isn't functioning as it should. Now, the other thing too is that, you lose weight, but what you're actually losing is muscle as well as fat. So what I used to find is I'd diet down, and I'd just end up a fucking skinnier, fat version of myself. So I didn't actually really look that much more toned. I was still soft. So it wasn't really what I wanted. And the other thing too is that I found that I had to eat less and less and less and do more and more and more to actually get the same result. Now, the thing that they don't tell you is that when your stress hormones are constantly elevated and your blood sugar is low, and you do this over and over again, you do these diets over and over again, your metabolism slows down. You get weight gain, hormonal imbalances, so estrogen dominance. So if you have any sort of PMS or menstrual cycle issues, that's a sign that you're estrogen dominant. You get cravings, you start to binge eat, you get digestive issues, so you start to get bloated, certain foods bloat you, you develop intolerances to things like dairy. You're tired all the time. Low libido. Like, who here doesn't want to have sex with their fucking husband or their partner? Like, it's a real problem. Like, I was just listening to Craig talk to a lady about our program this afternoon, and she was telling us how she has no sex drive. You know, and her husband's pissed off at her and it's affecting their relationship. It's just, you need to eat more fucking food. Your immune function suffers, so you get sick all the time. You lose muscle, your skin thins and wrinkles, and you have trouble concentrating. So, you know, how many of you here look at that list and are like, oh my God, ding, 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 I get all of those things. Like, so this is what's going to happen. So if you continue to do these diets, you are going to cause yourself long-term health issues. You're going to continually be tied to the scales. It's going to slow down your metabolism, and you're always going to be trapped by food and binge eating. So the thing is, if you can't see yourself doing a diet in 6 months, don't even fucking start it, because like, it's never, ever, ever, ever going to work and never be sustainable, and you'll continue to be trapped for the rest of your life. So that is pillar number one, ladies. Never, if you see another quick fix diet, just ignore it, because it ain't going to fucking work, and you're going to end up like Oprah. And, well, we probably all like to have Oprah's money and success, but we wouldn't like to probably be continually stuck on this quick fix diet train like Oprah. So that's pillar number one. Pillar number two, and this is, I love talking about this because I remember when I met Craig and he introduced me to strength training. I was like a duck to a water. Like, I just fucking loved it. It was so empowering. It was so exciting going into the gym and, you know, watching my numbers go up and getting stronger. And I was always such a cardio bunny. Like, I used to go into the gym and I'd do an hour of cardio followed by an hour of weights. And I just got nowhere. Like, I was just exhausted. So, you know, pillar number two is that you got to stop doing cardio and you've got to get strong. So I don't do the only cardio I do is I walk my dog. So I'll get up most days, depending if I'm busy or not, and I'll do it if I feel like it. And I walk Winston. And on the other 3 days a week, I just do my strength training for an hour. If I have a bit of a chat, which sometimes I do, it probably goes for an hour and a half. But if I focus and just get my shit together and get through it, I get through my training in 1 hour. So 3 hours a week total. But again, it's not your fault, because everywhere in the fitness industry, every fucking fitness model, Oxygen magazine, they tell you that you need to do cardio, that's good for cardiovascular health, that you need to, you know, like, it's going to burn calories. But anything that just burns calories, when you combine it with a low calorie diet, just slows down your resting metabolic rate. Wouldn't it make more sense to increase your resting metabolic rate so that you can actually eat more food and do less? Because it's just like, the more and more cardio you do, the more and more your body adapts, and the more and more you have to do to get results. And look, I used to do, I did pump class like 6 days a week. I did RPM 6 days a week. Like, I would do them back to back, and I would eat fuck all. Like, I think about it now, I'm just like, how did I even function doing that? No wonder I was such a moody bitch all the time. So think about it. Like, what is the one thing that you haven't done? Like, get super strong. None of the PTs I ever met before Craig taught me how to deadlift, taught me how to squat. Like, I'd never really squatted over anything 50, 60 kilos before I met Craig. I'd never deadlifted anything over probably 60 kilos. I'd never benched anything over maybe 30 kilos. And you know, no one ever taught me how to track and measure my training, because when everyone wants to look toned in athletics, the definition of toned is having well-defined muscles. So how do you think you get well-defined muscles? Well, you get stronger, of course. And I think one of the misconceptions about strength training is that women think it's going to turn them into the Hulk, which is just not true. Like, look at some of these women here. Like, these are ladies in our program. The middle lady, Ali, she was a runner before she joined our program. Now, she stopped running completely for 4 months, and look at her. She looks incredible, and she just did strength training. I think at her best deadlift, she did 105 kilos for 13 reps, which is just incredible. Melissa Collins to the right, same thing. Look at her waist, you know, small, flat stomach, tiny. She doesn't look bulky. And Anika Rutherford, she was quite heavy when she joined, 110 kilos, and she's done no cardio, and she's down 30 kilos now. just getting strong. So squat, bench, deadlift. So ladies, like, if you want to look toned and athletic and you want to look like an athlete, then you have to train like an athlete. Like, think about runners and what they look like. They look soft. They look skinny. They have to do a lot of fucking exercise to maintain their body. And no one wants to do that shit. Like, it is just, yeah, this was an absolute game changer for me. And being strong is really, really, really empowering. Like, it's so challenging. I trust me. You will have so much more fun and you will feel so much more empowered deadlifting than you ever fucking will running on the treadmill. So I'm going to hand over to the master of all things training, the man that changed it all for me and taught me how to maybe fall in love with strength training. He's going to take you through the methodology that we use in the Win at Life program, and how you should actually be training to get the body that you want and why cardio is actually working against you for fat loss.
Okay, so quite a few people have been asking some questions. We've been sort of going on regards to things like F45 that's come up. If you just type in the chat box for me.
Yeah, I can hear. Actually, you connected to my phone.
Would sound bad. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, guys. No, I'm on mine.
Connect.
Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to see if I can switch over to you. It might actually be these headphones, actually. Okay, I've just taken. Can you hear me? Okay, can you still?
Sorry?
Can you hear me through the headphones? I think it's my headphones. I've just there's only sound coming through one speaker. Oh god, this is so annoying. Test. No. Okay, cool. All right.
Really delayed and really chopped it line. Just turn yours. Just turn it down. Just do it. Come on.
I'm going to switch over to Kip. There we go. Can we hear me now? I think I'm on. Kitty muted her thing. I'm ready to this technical stuff. I'm ready to absolutely punch. Yes, Rebecca. Okay, everyone's telling me. Yeah. Can you? Okay, all right. Now let me get back into the rhythm. So, first of all, guys, we want to see. We want to actually talk about what it is that we're trying to achieve first, right? So, when it comes to actually designing the physique or the body, we're always talking about a more toned, athletic, stronger version of yourself, right? So I think it was Brody who said, like, right at the start, she was doing 40 minutes of fasted cardio 6 days per week, doing training, doing weight sessions 4 times, and then doing 20 minutes of cardio after it. And this is the whole thing about being specific about what it is that you're trying to achieve. If you're wanting to be a more toned, athletic, stronger version of yourself, how is doing a shit ton of cardio meant to give you that physique? Now, generally the response will be, well, it helps burn fat. The only problem is it doesn't. And the reality is nobody knows how fat gets burnt. So while a lot of people would go, oh, look, I've got my Fitbit and it's told me I've burnt X amount of calories and whatever. It's just like, yeah, that's great. It's a machine based off of an equation. It doesn't understand you or your individual circumstances, your metabolism, et cetera, et cetera. Nobody knows when fat is being burnt. You can't train for fat loss. As much as the fitness industry is trying to lead us to believe, you cannot train for fat loss because there is no specific way of measuring the fat loss from any given activity. What we can measure are the two things that you can actually affect and should only be the variables that you're looking at anyway, which is your strength and your diet. So if we use the example of, say, let's just say a 75 kilo female, she currently eats 2,000 calories per day, and that's what's maintaining her 75 kilos of body weight. So we need to establish what food intake does for you. If this particular person wanted to go up to 85 kilos, so gain 10 kilos, how would she gain the 10 kilos? Easy. She would just exponentially eat more food than what she's currently eating that's maintaining her 75 kilos of body weight. Pretty straightforward. We all know that. You eat more food, you put on weight. If she was to eat less than what she's maintaining her body weight, then her body weight would come down. Pretty straightforward. We all know that as well. So we understand that calories, or more for the fact, the total amount of calories that you eat on a consistent basis is what manages your body weight. Now, what makes up body weight? Two things, muscle and fat. Yes, obviously you've got your bones and water and glycogen, different things, but for the purpose of this, we're going to remove those. For the vast majority of what is made up of your body weight, it's muscle and it's fat, okay? So if we go, okay, total body weight, 75 kilos. She's eating 2,000 calories a day, and that's what's maintaining her 75 kilos. We have now established that if she eats more, her weight will go up. If she eats less, her weight will come down. Now, how does the fat come off if our goal is to look more like the toned, athletic, stronger version of herself? Well, it's really, really simple. If this particular person is eating 2,000 calories and maintaining their 75 kilos of body weight, they stop all of the irrelevant activity. And by irrelevant, I mean anything that doesn't build muscle. So yes, F45 is in this list. All right. I did speak to someone today. They said their partner gained a decent amount of muscle doing F45. So maybe that's a different style or something that they're doing. But the reality is it is all based off really, really high tempo work based around a lot of cardiovascular exercise. If you're gaining any muscle, it's just mainly because you probably weren't doing much before then, and your body wasn't being stimulated to gain any. If you do it for a little bit, you will see some change, but then you're going to hit the wall really, really quicker because they're not set up for maximal strength progression. Same with boot camps, same with RPM classes, boxing, or like everything you can think of. If you're not gaining significant amount of strength, then your muscle will not go up. Okay, so think of it like this. If you can squat, say, 40 kilos now, and then in 6 to 8 weeks' time, you can still only squat 40 kilos, do you think your legs or your ass are going to look any different? No, obviously not, because your strength performance hasn't improved. Therefore, the greatest stimulus that's needed to gain that particular muscle hasn't happened. So if this person wants to go, okay, squat 40 kilos now, and then 6 to 8 weeks on, they could squat 80 kilos, well, that's a very big increase in that amount of time. So naturally, their legs and their ass are going to look more like someone who can now squat an extra 40 kilos. So the point I'm trying to make you guys is that your body is a reflection of your strength capability. Your body composition, as far as you not having as much fat, is a reflection of your strength increase plus you being able to maintain your body weight or control your body weight with food. The fat comes off as a difference between getting those two variables right. So 75 kilo female, currently eating 2,000 calories a day, removes all the irrelevant activity, starts lifting weights, squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, etc., gains 2 kilos of muscle, but is still eating the same amount of food that maintains her 75 kilos of body weight. If she puts on 2 kilos of muscle, that means she has now dropped 2 kilos of fat because her body weight hasn't changed, but the ratio of muscle to fat has. Muscle has gone up because of the strength increase. Fat has come off because her ability to maintain 75 kilos of body weight with the amount of food. Now, when you put on 2 kilos of muscle, the reality is it's unlikely that she would have stuck at 2,000 calories to maintain 75 kilos of body weight. Whenever you start putting on significant strength increase, your body is going to require more food. So if she goes up to 2,200 calories, but 75 kilos still remains, but her strength is going up, that means her fat is coming down. So this is this whole body recomposition method. And this is why doing cardio or any other irrelevant activity becomes an absolute waste of your time, because you can't measure the outcome of what you're gaining from it. Therefore, if you can't measure it and you don't get the outcome that you're looking for at the end of your 8-week or 10-week or 12-week challenge, then you're only going to be set up to be more confused and frustrated than you already are. Now, like a lot of 8 and 10, 12-week challenges, everyone will lose a bunch of weight. They'll all get a hell of a lot leaner, you know, and they'll look body, and you'll see these great transformations, and that's all fantastic. But the simple reality is, if you start a challenge and you have to significantly change every fucking thing that you do in your life in regards to food, you know, the amount of time that you've got to spend in the gym, all the different, you know, types of exercises that you have to do over the week and fit it in, etc. After that, you're going to know pretty quickly whether you're going to be able to sustain it or not. And while it's all good and well to get to the end of an 8 or 10 or 12-week challenge and go, oh my God, look at my transformation, who gives a flying fuck if in 3 months you put all the weight back on? Any monkey can fucking take all of your food away, get you doing a bunch of stupid exercise and go, look at what I've been able to do for this person. This person's made this amazing transformation. And I just say, who gives a shit? It happens all the fucking time. Show me this person in 3 months. Are they still maintaining that physique? Or have they stopped training because they're so exhausted? You know, for females, their menstrual cycle issues about they're sleeping, their hair's falling out. They're sick of just eating so little food and broccoli and whatever. And it's just like, we're not even addressing life. You know, the vast majority of the females in our program, and I'm sure on this webinar, have kids. You have kids. You have life. You have full-time work. You have a relationship with your husband. Like, I'm sorry, but you can, like, if you go and do all of these fucking challenges over and over and over again, you're going to only turn into this absolute fucking pain in the ass person because you're hungry, you're tired, right? You constantly binge, so you feel guilty about all of that, and you're constantly stuck on a fucking hamster wheel wondering when it's ever going to change. The reality is it isn't. Most of you have done this over and over and over again. At what point do you have to step back and start thinking a bit more critically and go, maybe what I'm doing just isn't very good? So unless you can actually put your hand up and say, yeah, I've done all these things and I feel awesome, and I know that I can maintain what I'm doing for the rest of my life, fantastic. The reality is, if that was actually the case, you probably wouldn't be on this webinar right now. But the whole goal, guys, it's just about being specific. You don't go and play golf in your off season to become a better football player if your main
focus of sport is playing football. If you want to be a better football player, you practice playing football. You don't go and practice playing golf. They're two opposing different sports. They have no crossover at all. So therefore, if you want to look like a more toned, athletic, stronger version of yourself, do the activities that are going to, activity that's going to achieve that result, right? If you can do a chin-up now, or if you can't do a chin-ups, but if you could say fast forward in 12 weeks or, however, body weight obviously plays a bit of a part, but if you could do a set of 10 chin-ups, do you think your shoulders and your arms and back are going to look better because you can now do a set of 12 chin-ups? Obviously, because you would have had to have grown the appropriate amount of musculature to achieve that particular strength feat. So you guys need to get super excited about strength achievements. How much can you squat? How much can you bench press? How much can you deadlift? How much can you overhead press? Can you put 200 kilos on a leg press and push it for 50 reps? Can you bicep curl a 20 kilo barbell for 10 reps? These are the only things that you need to be focusing on. If indeed your goal is to look the more toned, stronger, athletic version of yourself. If you go, I really like to, I'm a marathon runner and I like to, I'm like, well, you need to go and do that. But as we all know, when we all watch the Olympics or the Commonwealth Games or anything where they have the athletics and the camera goes across the start line and it goes across the marathon runners, they are the most unhealthy, skinny, feeble, awful looking people. They're skinny, they're weak, they just look like they just need to eat something because they do. But the whole point of being a marathon runner is to be as light as possible. Having any extra muscle is only going to slow you down. Plus muscle uses up a lot more oxygen, etc. So their whole goal is I'm not going to eat much just so I can run further and further and further. They look like Mr. Burns. Yeah, exactly. Terrible. Right? But then the camera goes along the line of all the 100-meter sprinters, female and male, and they all look fucking awesome. Any one of them could go and step on a fitness model bodybuilding stage and probably win. Shoulders, legs, they've all got big, powerful glutes because they're power athletes. They don't starve themselves because if they actually stopped eating as much, they wouldn't run as fast. So this is the thing. Why on earth would anyone starve themselves in order to look like someone who has the strength in which you need to eat enough food to build that sort of strength? So it's just about being specific, guys. This is really all it comes down to. If you're not getting stronger, your body's not changing. If you can't be consistent with your food, your body composition isn't changing favorably, and then you won't know what to change because you're not focusing on that variable. So food and strength training, that's it. That's all it is. And if you have a framework that allows you to be consistent, because at the end of the day, the diet that's going to work for you in the long term is the one that you can stick to. The training program that's going to work for you in the long term is the one that you'll do and the one that you'll see progression with. If you can be into a framework, which is obviously what we do and what we do for you, if you could be put into a framework that just measures and gets you to focus on those two things, I guarantee you will be in a better spot than you've ever been. And it depends. Some people, if they've got, 20 kilo, 30 kilo, over their weight to lose, well, obviously that takes time. But the process doesn't change. The reality is, like we tell for everyone who comes in our program, we show you strength standards. It's like everyone's got to be able to deadlift 120 kilos. And people go, well, fuck, I can't do that. It's like, yeah, well, you can't now. But that's what we're looking to be. I've had some people who, they look at the pictures of Kitty and they go, oh my God, I'd love to have shoulders and an ass and a set of legs like Kitty. And I'm like, well, Kitty can military press 60 kilos for 12 reps. She can squat 130. She can deadlift 160 or 170 on any given day. And people go, fuck, I can't lift those kind of weights. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why you don't have a body that looks like Kitty. But the reality is, if you can bridge the gap from where you are now to more of what she's capable of doing, I fucking guarantee you, you're going to look more like that. Because it's just about strength capability. So I hope this makes sense, guys. Trying to find time. Oh, that's what I want to talk about too, and I'll talk about it at the end of the program. But we did a webinar last week with Jess. I don't know if you've got the pictures on here, Kitty, but I'll try and we'll bring them up in a sec. But basically, so Jess lives in Goondiwindi. I don't know if anyone knows where that is. It's like 3 or 4 hours west of Queensland, literally in the middle of nowhere in the desert. But when she came to us, she had no lifting experience. Now, she's been with us 12 months. We'll show you the transformation photo. But she trained at home. Now, when she sort of said to me, she's like, look, I've got a 2-year-old, my husband works away, the gym's in town. I don't think I'm going to be able to get it. How am I going to do this? I said, well, you got to buy a home setup. And she's like, oh, well, I've got some kettlebells and a skipping rope or something like that. I'm like, no, like that shit ain't going to cut it. I'm like, you need a squat rack. Right, you need a barbell, you need a bench, you need some plates, you need a safety bar, a couple of things like that. But to her credit, she went out and bought it. And she just literally set this up in a shed. She trained 3 times a week and has done for the last 12 months and got really, really good with her food. And we'll show you her photos, but her transformation is fantastic. And this is, for the most part, she's on her own with Poppy, her daughter. She works part-time and she's studying to be a nurse. So she's really, really busy. But she trained 3 times a week. And the only difference between the Jess back then and the Jess now is the Jess back then couldn't squat because she had no idea. And the Jess now can squat 90 kilos. She'd never deadlifted before. She can now deadlift 120. She can now do chin-ups. This is the only difference. So we'll show you her photos in a sec, but it's awesome. It just goes to show that really at the end of the day, if you can just focus on those 2 variables and do them for a significant amount of time, you're not going to have any issues and you're going to end up getting to where you want to be. Sorry, what about lower back injuries? Yeah, Lisa, lower back injuries, that's just, I need to find out a little bit more about what it actually is. But yeah, everyone who comes in the program, we put them through a progression system first. So level 1, 2, and 3, where we actually teach you how to lift. So we've had some people come in the program who've never even lifted before. It's totally fine. Jess was one of them. She'd never even stepped foot in a gym. So we show you how to squat. We show you how to breathe. We show you how to brace. We show you how to hinge your hips properly. We show you how to press properly. And we just build you up to the point where you can actually do the movements well. Then we strength test you, and then we put you on our performance program that just forces you to get stronger. So some people come into it and they've got injuries. We had one girl just start recently. She was in a car accident not too long ago. She's had to go and have shoulder surgery. And she's fine, but the reality is she can't do any of the pressing or the overhead stuff. But we modified her squats. She could still do deadlifts. She could do some arm stuff. She can do some machine pressing. So we just modified her program to the things she could do, and just avoided the things that she can't or the things that would give her pain. So it's super straightforward, guys. It's just that thing is more about attitude. We can do that, but it's just whether you want to actually put the time into actually working this out with us so we can find out what you can and can't do. So keep putting your questions in, guys. I'll jump back onto my computer now and start replying to some of these, and I'll let Kitty do the next set. But
Show the further photo.
Oh, I'll get you to bring it up.
No, you shut. You shut. Talk. Just go show you. Cheese. You shut.
Yeah. How do I share screen? Yeah. All right, so that's Jess, guys. You might have seen some of the stuff I think we've posted in Body by Design, but that's Jess with a really, really low strength capability on the left, and that's Jess with a really, really high strength capability on the right. Like, that's literally the difference. So just by measuring her progress in regards to her strength capability, that's all we needed to do, and then just make adjustments to what she was doing. So I'll give you a quick, just really quick, so we don't get off track too much. But I'll just give you a quick look into the program that we actually use just to measure all of the strength capability. So just thinking off the top of my head. So oh, sorry guys, one sec. So this is actually Kitty's program that she's doing at the moment. So this is how we measure your actual strength. So at the moment, Kitty's doing a squat bench deadlift program that rotates per workout. So basically, it'll show the weight that she needs to lift and the amount of reps that she needs to do. And then you can see there on her last set, when she does a failure set, it'll say goal 2+ reps. So that's her deadlift. So she's going to do 137. She needs to do 2 at a minimum. But if she can do more than that, say if she does, say 6, that'll actually give her a PB for that particular volume set. So basically everything here, like your food, the training needs to be measured. So we need to look at all these numbers and go, right, so when she does her tricep skull crusher, she's got to do 26 kilos and she's got to do a minimum of 14 reps. If she does, say, 16, that will give her a 37 kilo max, and that will bump her PBB up there to 37. Therefore, she's made progress with that particular exercise. So this is the same thing we did with Jess. It was just a simple case of just making sure we were tracking everything that she was doing. So I'll get you to jump on.
Okay. You go. You share the favorite Jess? Can you stop sharing the screen? All right, back to me. I'm sure he's sick of listening to Craig. He would probably disagree with that. Yeah. Okay, so now the other thing is with muscle is that muscle at rest burns fat for fuel, and muscle is what will give you that beautiful shape. So toned legs, capped shoulders, toned arms. And you're not going to turn into a Hulk. You're only going to look as strong as the weights that you can lift. And it takes a long time to get strong. I didn't do it overnight. It's taken me 4 years to get to where I am. And the other thing too is that you can just eat way more fucking food. So like when I met Craig and I did Emma's program, I was maintaining my back then body composition, my skinny fat body composition at 1,600 calories. Now I eat 2,400 calories a day and I sit at 20% body fat. And I don't do cardio except walk Winston. Like this week we moved house as well because we moved down to the Gold Coast. And usually I would previously I'd be panicking because I'd be like, fuck, Kitty, you weren't able to train. I was only actually able to train once. And then we sort of did a semi session on Sunday and that was it. And I'm the same. Like I look the fucking same. I haven't put on any weight, haven't put on any body fat. I've eaten my normal food and I'm the same. So that's the great thing about strength training and getting stronger is that you are going to be able to maintain your physique and not worry that you're always, you're like, oh God, I can't train today. I'm going to fucking stack the weight on. Like now I think about training more than 3 days. I'm like, oh, fuck that. Like after I do my sessions, like I'm wrecked. Like there is no way that I could train 5-6 days a week. I'll skip past this because Craig's already showed you Jess, but I just want to show you someone like a bit bigger girl, Anika. Now, when she came into the program, the reason she joined was because she had terrible PCOS and endometriosis. so bad, like from the age of 12, and she'd been to doctors, she was on the pill, she was on the bar, she was told she couldn't have kids, and just the most horrendous periods. Like she was in so much pain and she just hated her body. She did the program. Her period now comes every 28 days. It's regular, it's pain-free, and she's actually pregnant now and she's expecting her first baby, and she's lost 30 kilos. And, you know, she eats about 2,300 calories a day, and she's strong. She can deadlift 145 kilos, squat 150, and she can bench 70 kilos. So the only thing that she did was she just followed the process. She got stronger. You know, we put her on Recomposer. Donna, yeah, if you join us. So the process that we take everyone through in our Win at Life program is we take you through a 3-level progression system. So we teach you how to do all the basic movement patterns correctly. Then we strength test you, and everyone gets an individualized, customized program online like that. So it tells you exactly what weight to do, exactly the amount of reps. So there's never any confusion when you go into the gym. You just go and you look at your program. You're like, okay, sweet. It tells me to do this. I go away, do it. I record it in my app. So so that was over about 18 months, that period. So that's the other thing, ladies, is that you cannot undo all of the damage that you've done in 12 weeks. It ain't going to fucking happen. Like, you have to get out of that quick fix mentality, because you just can't. Like, for most women, depending on where they're at, it's going to take 12 to 18 months. Like, if I look at the women that have been in our program for 12 months, they look good. Like Andrea, Alison, she's been in the program, Jess, Anika's been longer. The thing is, though, it's like it's 12 months of like building a body for the rest of your life versus staying on the quick fix diet train forever. So it's like people think, oh, it takes too long, but really it doesn't. Like, it's such a small amount of time in the overall scheme of things. And plus, it's enjoyable. Like, you get to eat actual food you fucking like, and you're not killing yourself in the gym. Because the thing is, too, it's a lifestyle change. It's like you do this now and you're going to do it for the rest of your life. So this is just some photos of me 4 years ago when I did those 2 comps, and I only stayed like that for like 3 or 4 days. So I massively rebounded after. And this is me now, like 70, I fluctuate between 70 and 72 kilos. I eat, you know, some days I'll eat 2,200 calories. Some days I'll eat up to 2,600 calories. It just ranges depending on how I feel and if I'm hungry. I can squat double my body weight. I can deadlift over 2 times my body weight. I can bench more than my body weight now. And I'm strong. And I actually genuinely love the body. Like, there's a lot of women actually out there. Like, I've had some nasty comments on my photos on Facebook, and they're like, I don't want to look like you. You look like a man, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Like, I just don't even give a fuck, because I genuinely love the body that I have now. And, you know, I feel really good in my skin, and I sleep good, and I just, you know, I feel happy. I feel happy. So, you know, ladies, I've never met anyone who says that they don't like being strong. Well, Tara, you can look like me. You've just got to put the work in. You've just got to put the time in and learn how to lift and become a great lifter, because I love lifting. You know, it's an art, it's a craft, and I'm still learning, and I've been doing it for like 4 years. So it's not something that you'll ever stop. You know, I really like, I could crap on about lifting for ages, but we'll keep going because it's getting late and I know everyone will probably want to go to bed soon. So pillar 3 is that you have to eat more consistently on a daily basis and eat more sugar to lose body fat. And I know it sounds crazy because, you know, like, every bloody PT I ever saw told me to cut sugar, cut dairy. Like, I remember my first diet plan, no fruit. I wasn't even allowed to have milk in my coffee, and it was 1,200 calories. So, you know, I think right from day one, I was basically set up to fail. So it's so common. And pretty much every PT I saw after that did the same thing. No dairy because it causes inflammation. No sugar because sugar's the fucking devil, which is just ridiculous. No carbs. Like, everyone was like low carb. Now, the most ridiculous thing about that is that go away and do some reading about cellular respiration. So the cells in your body prefer glucose as their primary fuel source. So when your cells make energy the most efficiently, they are making it from glucose. They use the least amount of oxygen, they create the most amount of energy, and they create the most amount of carbon dioxide. So like we discussed before, carbon dioxide is a good thing. It helps to keep your cells nice and stable and happy, and it's broadly anti-inflammatory, and it lowers inflammation. So anyone who tells you that you don't need to eat carbs it's ridiculous. But the amount of carbs is important. So if you eat too much of anything, of course you're going to put on body fat, but it is about finding a balance. So no woman should be eating under 1,800 calories because you don't get fat because you eat 1,200 calories. Like, no woman gets fat from eating low-calorie diets. You get fat because you go on these crazy diets, you restrict, your metabolism slows down, and then you go and binge eat, and you eat shit. So you eat cakes, pastries, lots of processed junk food that has polyunsaturated fats and refined vegetable oils and sugar and starch. And then you put on fat. So it's like, if I taped your mouth shut at 1,200 calories and you couldn't eat anything more, we'd all be skinny. But you'd feel like shit, of course. So the key is to eat more consistently so that you stop binge eating. The other thing too, it's like, what do you crave when you do these low-calorie diets? You crave fucking sugar because your body has built-in mechanisms to tell you what to eat. Sugar isn't poison. Your body cells run off sugar, but it would be so, like, white table sugar is structurally the same as the sugar found in fruit, honey, and OJ. The only difference is that the latter has vitamins, minerals, and fiber. So it would be stupid to go and eat 10 cups of white sugar because it's simply energy devoid of nutrients. It's just like putting pure gasoline into your body. But what you should be doing is filling your diet full of fruits, beautiful, ripe, fresh fruits, freshly squeezed orange juice, honey, homemade ice cream, custards, then eat root vegetables. So you want to find a place where you can sit calorie-wise, where you are hungry between meals. So hunger is normal. You want to feel hungry. Your mouth should salivate for your meals. But you don't want to feel like, holy fuck, I want to smash 10 packets of Jersey caramels and biscuits like I used to do, and you can't sleep through the night. So a lot of women can't sleep through the night simply because they're not eating enough food. And yeah, it's just, you like, ladies, no one should eat under 1,800 calories. Like, you've just got to do the hard yards and eat enough food and get stronger, and your body will change, and you won't have to do these crazy quick fix diets. And it's going to take time, because anything that you do quick, so if you cut your calories really quickly, your metabolism slows down, you'll end up binge eating always. Like, every single one of you is here because you continue to do these same diets and binge eat over and over again. And like, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. You know, like, what our ancestors were driven by taste so that they knew what to eat. Like, they didn't have someone saying, eat all this fucking leaves and broccoli because it's a superfood, because it tastes like shit. Like, you bite into broccoli and it tastes bitter. You know, if you really want to eat broccoli, cook it really well and serve it with butter, and make sure you serve it with some other form of carbohydrates, because it doesn't have any energy. Like, it's not going to give you any energy at all. In fact, I've eaten a green vegetable for probably for over 4 years now. Every now and then I'll eat some well-cooked spinach. But the other thing too is, like, people think that, oh, Kitty, but where's all the nutrients? It's like, well, what nutrients are in green vegetables that you can't get from other foods in higher amounts that are more easy to digest? So, like, my diet is extremely nutrient rich. Liver has a week's worth of vitamin A, all your B vitamins, copper, and heaps of other trace minerals. Shellfish has zinc, selenium, copper. Orange juice, vitamin C, potassium, magnesium. Dairy has calcium. You know, it's just like, those are the foods that are really nutrient rich. Go out and eat liver. Like, liver and shellfish, nature's multivitamins. Like, I don't take any supplements except for NuGel. That's it. And every now and then a bit of vitamin K if I take aspirin. But yeah, like, you can get all of the nutrients you need from food. The fitness industry just fucking rips you off with bullshit supplements. It's like, you don't need them. You can just eat good quality food. You can feel really good and you can get into shape. Like, that's just a little snapshot of my diet. And I plugged it into this app called Chronometer, which basically tells you the micronutrient content. You can see that every single one of the vitamins and minerals I hit over 100%. And that's no green vegetables. So it's like, you know, you've just think for your fucking self. Like, stop, you know, getting on the next fad thing, like the next superfood, like chia seeds and fucking every next thing that's apparently this amazing health food. It's like, eat good quality food that your grandparents used to eat. Eat enough of it. You know, eat butter, eat coconut oil, eat fruits, eat root vegetables, eat dairy. Make sure you're getting enough protein, and then be consistent and get stronger, and your body will change. The other thing too is that for a lot of you, you have fucked yourself from years of dieting. So you've got hormonal imbalances, sleep issues, digestive issues. You need to fix all that shit first. Like, you know, when women join our program, we take them through a process of, you know, helping them improve what we call subjective measures of metabolism. So we track things like sleep, digestion, mood, energy, menstrual cycle. So if you're weak as piss, which most people are, and you've got all these fucking hormonal issues, there ain't no way that you're getting a result in 12 weeks. Like, it's like you've got to get that shit out of your head. It's like you have to spend probably, for most of you, 12 weeks just fixing all of those issues that you've caused yourself for the years of dieting. Then you need to get stronger. I was speaking to one of the girls in our program, and she's like, she's done her first 12 weeks and she's feeling heaps better. And she's like, you know, she's not binge eating, and, you know, you can see changes in her body, but she's weak. Like, she's not weak as in weak person, but she's weak. She's not strong. But of course she's not strong because she's only just started lifting. So you can't expect to go from 0 to 100 in 12 weeks. It's going to take you 12 months. Get that into your head. Make the investment in yourself, because if you do, it will change your life for the rest of your fucking life. Like, imagine waking up every day not being obsessed with food. No more obsession with food. No more binge eating. Imagine waking up, like, I look in the mirror every day and I fucking love the body that stares back at me. I can put my clothes on, I feel good, I sleep well, I eat really good food. You know, it's like, what's that worth to you? Like, is it worth putting in 12 months? Because it will change it for the rest of your life. So you have to get out of your head, ladies, 12 weeks, because it just isn't going to happen. So focus on improving sleep, digestion, mood, energy, menstrual cycle, then get stronger. So, you know, you want to look good, you got to be able to squat like close to double your body weight. You got to be able to deadlift double your body weight. And if you can bench, you know, close to your body weight, you are going to look like what you want to look like. But anything in life that's worthwhile takes time. It takes persistence. It takes failing forward, because trust me, you will fail. And most women give up too easily. They're not resourceful, you know, they don't, as soon as they hit one hurdle, they're like, oh, fuck it, throw it out the window. You got to be more resilient, ladies. You've got to learn to embrace the failure and fail forward. Like, we have a saying in our program, we don't quit, we fail forward. Because trust me, the amount of times that you will fuck up, you're going to fuck up heaps. But as long as you learn and you keep progressing forward and you play the long game and you keep that in mind, you will get to your goal. Like, trust me. Like, you know, and I talk about this a lot, is that for my whole life, I only ever had 2 relationships in my whole life. So I had my husband and Craig, and, you know, my whole life I just attracted wankers because I was desperate. Like, I would just root anyone, basically, give it out like it meant nothing. I was so desperate to have a man that, of course, I was attracting these wankers into my life that only wanted to sleep with me. And after I got divorced, I went through the same cycle again and again and again. And I nearly got fired from my job in mining. And I actually really respect my boss. And he sat me down and he said, Kitty, if it was anyone else, I would have fired them. So I went away and I thought to myself, I don't want to, instead, I didn't beat myself up about how I was, because that doesn't help me move forward. Fine on relationships. And I read and I implemented. And there was this one book, and if you're single, it's pretty funny too. Go and read it. It's called The Catch. And it's got this 28-day man boot camp, and I did it, and I did everything to the letter, and fucking, you will not believe this, but on the 30th day I met Craig, but I slept with him on the first night, and I woke up the next day and I was like, you fucked it, Kitty. He's never going to call you. You broke the rule of the Bible. Me and my friend called it the Bible. But instead of doing my usual trick where I'd text them and call them and being all desperado, I was like, Kitty, no, like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You like this guy, he's not going to fucking like you if you're just, you know, chasing after him. Just let it be. And look what happened. Now I have the man of my dreams, you know, like, I've got the business that I want. I invested time and effort into being a good lifter and learning how to power lift. And now, because I've played the long game, I have what I want. But I have failed so many times along the way, so many times. So ladies, I know we've gone a bit off topic, but you have to play the long game. And if you stop, you can only change what you do moving forward. So I'm a real action taker. I don't like to sit there and punish myself for what I've done. I like to look forward and think about who I want to become. And then I just consistently take the action to get there. And no matter how many times I fail, I pick myself up and I just keep going. So it's like you guys can, you can do this too with your body. You've just got to invest. You have to invest time and you have to invest money. Ah, Craig. Even when I want to fucking kick you in the balls because you've been an asshole. But he wants to choke slam me sometimes. We have a very passionate relationship, which I love. Anyway, we'll keep going. So that's the 3 pillars. You have to stop dieting and stop doing all these dumb diets. Otherwise, you're just going to be Oprah. No one wants to be Oprah except you want to have her money. Get stronger. Stop doing cardio. So do what Craig said, squat, bench, deadlift, invest in learning how to be a great lifter, because if you want to have a great body, you've got to be a great lifter. And pillar 3 is got to eat more food and eat more sugar. So don't be afraid to fill your diet with fruit, honey, some white sugar. So obviously don't go to eat 10 cups of white sugar. Use your fucking brain. Like these people that just go crazy on my posts, I'm like, oh God, it drives me batty. It's like, be smart, eat fruit, eat nutrient dense sugar sources, and then have some white sugar in your diet, and eat more. Like stop. You basically want to feel satisfied. And then 3 to 4 hours later, you should feel hungry. So if you're stuffing the food in, it's too much. If you are absolutely famished and you're not sleeping and you're thinking about food constantly, it's not enough. On an average, 1,800 calories. Women, no less than 100 grams of protein at a minimum. But Donna, you don't know when to stop because you binge eat and you binge on it because you just don't eat enough. Like now I eat and I don't ever think about binge eating because I'm satisfied and I know that I'm not restricted. So I can and now I eat food that makes me feel good. So people are like, I never eat any shit food anymore because I can eat all this like lovely food that I like and I want to feel good. Like I want to feel optimized. I want to wake up every day and attack the day and work long hours and save the women of the world from, like the cock and brock diet as we call it. So it's about how it makes me feel. And you can probably all see why I'm super, super passionate, why I'm on such a mission to save women, because honestly, like it will change your life. Like absolutely change your life. And how many of you would want that? Like how many of you would want to wake up and be free from restrictive diets and binge eating forever, to not have food rule you anymore, to actually want to have sex with your partner, to look at the body staring back at you and love it. And, think about what this would mean for your life. Like you're going to be a better partner. You're going to be a better mother. You're going to be better at your job. You're going to perform better every single day. So that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it just means it's not just about how you look. It's about how it affects the other areas of your life. And, look, I know you've lost because there's a million other like fitness models out there that probably are in better shape than me that are telling you, eat fucking broccoli, do cardio, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's a jungle, like it's just so confusing with all the information. But you can come with me. You can come with me and I can hold your hand and I can take you every step of the way and I can take you through the jungle and I can coach you and hold you accountable because, we're not the sort of coaches that want to take your money and not get you a result. Like we will have the hard conversations with you when you need it because we actually give a fuck. Like, and that is what matters, because there is going to be times when you come if you join us and you work with me, that you will have some bullshit excuse. And you will be telling yourself the same fucking dumb story that's held you back your whole entire life. But we won't let you. And we will call you out on that because we actually care and we want you to break free. So basically Craig and I, over the last 3 years, in all the experience, we opened our gym. We worked with hundreds of clients. And then we developed our online program. So we've developed and we've not only done this with me, but we've put hundreds of women through this program. And it's a program that's actually going to show you step by step how to identify the foods that are going to work for your body, so that are going to increase your metabolism, improve things like digestion, mood, energy, menstrual cycle. We're going to show you exactly how many calories you should be eating, and what macronutrients to eat specific to your body so that you can not only heal yourself, but then build muscle and lose body fat, because we all want to look better. We're going to teach you how to become a fucking great lifter. So, we are going to teach how to squat, how to bench, how to deadlift, and get strong so you can actually build that body. And we are going to help you feel better. So sleep, mood, energy, digestion, menstrual cycle. So this is a program that is going to set you up for life, and it is going to set you free, because once you do this program, that's it. You never have to go back. And the women in our program, they've been free. They're finally building bodies that they love, and they're actually eating food they enjoy, and they're not killing themselves to do it. And they're loving themselves again, like they're actually looking in the mirror and loving the bodies that stare back at them. And look, if you still think that that you can get a result doing a $9 a week program, you can't, because I've done it, you've done it, we've all fucking done it. And there's a few reasons. Is because you don't need more fucking information. There is so much information out on the internet. If you were smart enough and you had the time, you could go out and find all of the information in our program, piece it all together and do it yourself. But you're not going to, because you don't need more information. What you need is a proven method and a process, and you need coaching. You need coaching. You need accountability. You need support. You need a community. And, that is what we have designed in our Win at Life program. So we only take 12 new clients a month via application. So we have a couple of levels in our program. And we always like to talk to clients first, because we need to get an understanding of where you're at, what you actually need, and then we can recommend something based on where you are. Now, this is a free call. There is no obligation to join, because we don't just want to work with anyone. We want to understand what you need and whether or not we can actually help you. So if you would like to work with us, I'm just going to put my glass on because I can't see shit. BTLY. I'm just going to type the link in the chat box. So if you copy and paste that link and put it into a browser, you'll just be asked to fill out a short application form. Then you'll be taken to our group calendar, and you'll be able to book in a time to chat with myself, Craig, or one of our coaches, Sarah, Sian, or Sam. And please, if you book a call, turn up, because we are so busy. And if you book a call and you don't turn up, someone else misses out. Now, I know a lot of you are probably scared, and you're like, God, this goes against everything that I've ever, it's the opposite basically to what the fitness industry tells you. And we asked the women in the program, we said, look, if a woman was sitting on the fence and she was scared to do this program, what would you say to her? So I just want you to watch this really, really short video.
If you don't do this, what are you going to do? Are you going to keep doing what you've been doing that's not working? Or are you going to try something different, invest in yourself? I've got results. Everyone else on the program's got results.
You can't not do it. If you're watching this video, you can't not. You've got nothing to lose. Okay, if single mothers do this and they don't have a lot of money. So and there's so many of them, and it's just something that you need to do for yourself.
This program has changed my life. And I think I am shocked by how much it's changed my life, because it really isn't just about losing weight, eating amazing food and training effectively, but, not killing yourself 7 days a week.
I would just say to anybody, if you're feeling like you've just got no hope or you just don't know what to do, I absolutely highly recommend it, because you guys know your shit.
Don't waste any more time. I've wasted so many years, and then even when I got into this program, it took me a while to get my head around things, and I'm so glad that I've stuck with it.
It doesn't have to be forever. You can try it out, go all in, try it out, and then if it's not for you, then it's not for you.
I think I'd probably go up, give her a good slap, say get your shit together and get on to NuStrength. Don't sit, just go do it. Go do it.
Do it.
Just do it. It's the biggest change of my life that I've ever done, and I'm not giving up. I'm going to stay on this program.
You can only gain out of it. You will never regret that decision. Just go for it.
Trust me, I have done everything under the sun, and I've never felt better in 15 years I have the last 12 weeks of my life. So give it a shot. You've got nothing to lose, and yeah, you'll see the difference in 3 months' time.
You know, if you want to do good at work, or you want to be a good partner, or you want to do any of those things, it's really hard to do if you're feeling stressed and you're feeling down. Like, you know, you think about the amount of people who feel really, but if you're good and you're feeling well, that fuels all those things. So for me, that would probably be like the number one piece of advice would just be like,
you don't know till you try and you won't regret it.
The best thing ever. Like, I've just loved it. Absolutely loved it. And I would, like, everyone has to do it. I really, like, that's it. There is no other thing to take into account. You just got to do it. Just do it. You will love it.
Please, 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 please give it a go. You owe it. You owe it to yourself, no one else.
Try it. You know, if everybody's willing to try every other fad diet out there, you've got nothing to lose by doing this. And trust me, once you do this, this is your last stop.
So, this program is for you if you're tired of being trapped by restrictive diets, if you actually want to play the long game with me and you're willing to put in the work, because I don't want to work with women who aren't willing to invest in themselves and actually grow and change their mindset, because you won't make it and you have to play the long game. And it's definitely not for you if you want a quick fix, because it ain't a quick fix, but it's a sustainable long-term approach that will change your life forever. So if I'm just before we finish up, I'm just going to show you a few screenshots from women who are actually in our program and show you that it's just so much more than just nutrition and training. You know, it's this incredible community of women. You know, like today I was amazed at the kindness and the generosity of all the women in the program to support Karen, you know, after her husband, her son committed suicide. You know, everyone donated money and cooked food, and, you know, like, it's just, I've never met a group of women so invested in seeing each other succeed and who support and are kind to each other. There's no bitchiness, there's no egos, and it's actually quite incredible. And we all swear, so if you don't like swearing, you're not going to like it. So I'm just going to type that link in the chat box again if you want to apply. And just ask yourself, what is it costing you not to do this? You know, are you going to spend another year, 2, 3 years on the quick fix diet train? You know, never get stronger, never actually break free. So click on the link, book in a call, and we'll have a chat and see if we can actually help you. So now, for those of you who stayed right to the end, I'm just going to type my email address in the chat box. And so shoot me an email tomorrow and just say, "Hey, Kitty, I was on the webinar, can I have the program?" And I'll reply to you and send that through. So I don't know if anyone's got any other questions that Craig hasn't already answered. Do you still have a program in Brisbane? We have a gym in Brisbane, and our coaches train people one-on-one out of our gym in Brisbane. But our online program, obviously, you can do anywhere. Anywhere in the world. We've got women in the States, we've got women in the UK, we've got heaps of Kiwis actually. They're bloody taken over, aren't they, Craig? Yeah. If anyone wants to know about the home setup, you can shoot Craig an email, craig@nustrength.com.au, and he'll actually email you the home setup that you need if you wanted to set up a gym at home like Jess did. So has anyone got any more questions? Just supplements, Kim. Nah, you don't need any supplements. Just nature supplements, liver and oysters. That's all you need. Yeah. The email, the replay link. Yeah, like if you register for the webinar, you'll get sent the replay. So don't worry. Calorie counting apps. We just use MyFitnessPal. I think we got everything actually. So no one's got any more questions. Can you look? So basically, with alcohol, so it depends on your goal. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like, if you have got a lot of weight to lose, or you're really estrogen dominant, and you've got all the healing to do, having wine isn't really going to help you. And, you know, look, I always think the best approach is to at least just cut it out for 12 weeks, because what you'll find is that it'll give your body, you know, a lot of time to heal. And then once you do go and have a drink again, you'll be like, I don't really miss this. And you might have one drink every now and then, and it's not going to like consume you anymore like it did me. So yeah, like really it will affect your results, but as long as you're okay with that, and you take ownership for it, like I have no problem with it. At the end of the day, it's your results and you need to take ownership for it. So if you want to have a few drinks and it'll put you back a few weeks and you're okay with that, then that's totally fine. It just annoys me when women go, don't stick to the process, and then they don't get the result that they fucking want, and then they whinge about it, because it's like, well, you knew what you were doing. So at the end of the day, it's just about taking ownership and responsibility for you. Like I still have a few drinks every now and then. I just don't go crazy anymore, but I've put the work in and my metabolism's good and I'm strong, and having a couple of drinks doesn't really affect me anymore. So, you know, I think initially you've just got to put the hard yards in. Macro based on us. So basically the process we go through is we give you macro guidelines specific to you, but then we have food list meal ideas, and we work with you to find the foods that work best for your body within the guidelines, because everyone's going to require different amounts of protein, different amounts of carbs, different amounts of fat, depending on their sex, their metabolism, their activity levels, you know, stress. So it's different for everyone. There's no one size fits all, and not everyone eats the same diet either. So even though we all have similar foods, we eat similar foods, everyone has different diets, because that way it teaches you, you know, how to do your own diets, what foods actually work for your body. And, you know, like the women that have been with us now for 12 months, like we don't even check their diets anymore. Like they even adjust their calories now. You know, so it's like we'll actually teach you how to do this sustainably for the rest of your life. We actually had a lady join our program and have a baby while she was in our program. She had it like 2 weeks into our program. So how do you work at someone's body fat? So we use a measurements system to work out their rough body fat. But really it's measurements. Initially we do it to work out your lean mass, but then after that, the measurements, the body fat doesn't really matter. It's just that you want to see measurements and photos changing, because it's just a measure of progress. The actual body fat doesn't matter. So April, if you drink milk and eat eggs or seafood, our nutrition will be suitable. If you're a vegan, it's not going to be suitable. You won't be able to do it. So yeah, we have had a few vegetarians in our program done quite well, but obviously you're more restricted because you don't have as wide variety of food to choose from, but that's fine as long as you're fine with that. Don't think we got any more questions. No? All right, lovely ladies. Have a great evening. I'm going to go now and eat my condensed milk, or maybe have some chocolate brownie. I'm not sure. It depends what I feel like. And for those of you who book in a call, we look forward to speaking with you, and have a great evening. Bye.